This is ABC7 News at 5. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. Our top story this evening, inmates at the Charlotte County Jail each have their own tablet device that they can use anytime during waking hours.
But the inmates can't do just anything on the devices like surf the web or play games. ABC7's Jess Dowdrick got a first-hand look at the tablets today. She joins us now live at the Charlotte County Jail to explain what they can do. Jess?
Jacqueline, Scott, there are 660 inmates here at the Charlotte County Jail, and each and every one of them have access to his or her own tablet. However, it's not costing taxpayers, the county, or even the inmates a dime.
To me, and I think a lot of other inmates here, it's everything.
Nicole Hoffenkamp didn't realize the Charlotte County Jail had tablets when she started serving her time.
I check it like it's a big cell phone.
But she's glad they do.
It's basically like having access to an email account, but the one thing is, like, you can't just message anyone. Like, I couldn't just message you. Someone has to accept you. We can't go watch movies or surf the web or do fun stuff like that.
Hoffenkamp uses it mostly to message back and forth with her boyfriend.
It's more like normalcy almost. Like, you know, I don't have to go up to a payphone and call or, you know, make sure someone has money on the phone.
She says for her, it gives her peace of mind.
We're okay here. Nothing's going to happen to us here, but outside, you know, that's what I worry about is stuff obviously I can't control it, but to be able to have this just for, you know, your family or husband or whatever to say, oh, you know, I'm okay, everything's fine, or, you know, how was your day? Just to have that is nice. It's reassuring.
The first 2 messages a week are free. Then after that, it's 50 cents per message. That's how the company that funds the devices, Smart Communications, pays for the service.
We do not pay a dime for any of these devices. The company provides them for free.
Charlotte County Sheriff's Office Captain Melissa Turney says before these devices, the county was having problems getting everyone to the self-help classes that were court-ordered. Now, inmates can take the classes on the tablets.
They can go on and they can do their self-help, anger management. They can go into parenting classes online, and they can even get a certificate.
Turney says online classes actually saves the county money because they're free. The classes that the jail typically provides cost the county.
So every single unit has enough devices for everyone that lives in that particular unit. And they're allowed to have them during waking periods. So technically from the time that they wake up until the time that they go to bed.
And each message that is exchanged via the tablets, like those between Hoffenkamp and her boyfriend, is closely monitored.
But we actually monitor all of the mail coming and going now. That's something that we've always done. So we do that now. It's not going to be too much different. In fact, it's going to be probably a little bit easier now that it's kind of electronic.
Now, eventually, the inmates will be able to read their physical mail as well on these tablets. The jail has had some issues with drugs being put into the envelopes and the letters that are sent to inmates. So by January 1st, they're hoping to be able to scan those letters, and then the inmates can read them on the tablets. Reporting live in Charlotte County, Jess Dowdrick, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you so much, Jess. A body found off Egmont Key over the weekend is not that of a missing boater from Cortez, according to the Florida Fish and Wildlife officials. FWC says the body was found early Sunday by a Good Samaritan. Officials say the body is of a white male and appears to be in his 60s. Just last month, the U.S. Coast Guard was looking for a missing boater in that area who is also a white male in his 60s. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office has identified that body, but says it is not missing 64-year-old Frazier Horn from Cortez. The Sheriff's Office is now taking over on this case.
Sarasota County School District is looking at other potential locations for some high school graduations this school year. Right now, the graduations for Northport, Riverview, and Booker High Schools are set to take place at Roberts Arena in Sarasota. But the executive director of the arena says the venue is having major air conditioning problems, and he isn't sure if it will be repaired before the ceremonies in the spring. Sarasota County Fairgrounds leaders warning the school district to look for other options because the arena's AC will not be repaired until they receive proper funding to do so.
Anna Maria Island city officials are waiting to hear if they could lose a 25% discount from FEMA for flood insurance. If it happens, some property owners in the city would be affected by that loss. The issue comes after FEMA sent a letter stating requested information was not submitted to FEMA during a review. The city of Anna Maria tells ABC7 that a building official that was responsible for providing that information to FEMA did not do so. As a result, Anna Maria commissioners voted unanimously last month to terminate him. Meanwhile, claims for damage caused by Hurricane Irma is now over the $6 billion mark across the Sunshine State. Over 850,000 property owners have filed for insured losses from the storm, including more than 25,000 properties in Sarasota, Manatee, and Charlotte counties. Over 9,000 local claims have not been paid for various reasons, but more than 75% of them have been closed. Those claims do not include flood insurance, which analysts project could be over $38 billion in damages across the state.
Another great sunny day here in the Suncoast. A little warmer than typically we see this time of year, but let's get a check now on our weather with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Hi, Bob.
Blue skies, lots of sunshine today. Temperatures warming into the low 80s once again, but a couple of words that people are going to be hearing over the upcoming days. The polar vortex. The polar vortex. That's right. Making its way down south. And we'll talk more about that later. 76 degrees right now. Sunshine out there and nothing polar about our temperatures lately. They've been well above average. The dew point temperature now is 67. We have a west wind at 5 and the pressure way up there still 30-12. And that has been holding steady this afternoon. Temperatures currently mid 70s to upper 70s near the area beaches from Inglewood northward up into Braden and Cortez. Inland areas upper 70s to low 80s there. The Gulf water temperature has warmed up now 74 degrees, but that's going to chill out once this front that you see right here now moving through parts of West Virginia and down through Tennessee all the way down into Louisiana. This cold front, the strongest of the season, will eventually slide through, bringing with it a good chance for some showers. Some much needed rain, I might add, and then the cooler weather to follow. Details and all that coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Bob. Happening today on the Suncoast, Democrats will select a new candidate to take on Republican James Buchanan and Libertarian Allison Fox, all in a state house race. Only Democrats from District 72 are eligible to vote, which makes up about 40,000 people from North Sarasota. One candidate is Margaret Good. Her father is a fourth-generation Floridian, and caring about her community and the environment is what motivated her to run. The Siesta Key attorney says she's most passionate about seeing a change in Tallahassee.
For 20 years, we've had the same old, same old. I want to make sure that we are going to protect our environment, that we are fully funding public schools and supporting our children, and that we're doing what's good for our local economy.
Running against Good is Ruta Gignari, who has lived here for 19 years and founded her own medical clinic. And like all the other candidates in this race, it's her first run for public office. Gignari says she's not concerned that her opponent has raised 7 times more cash. She says they have a better ground game, going door to door to the 5,000 people expected to vote in this election.
The biggest passion I have is healthcare, and it stems from the clinic that I have, that I co-founded. Hearing story after story of people not being able to have health insurance just because they can't afford it, either because their pay is too low or because they just fell through the cracks of the system. And really, overwhelmingly, it's the healthcare issue. And I'm just really scared that Sarasota and Florida may lose health coverage altogether, and then we'll all be in the same boat and stuck.
The winner of today's primary goes on to face a Republican and a Libertarian candidate on February 13th. They're all trying to replace Alex Miller, who resigned her House seat earlier this year, just months into her first term in office. The general election is set for February 13th, and polls are open until 7 p.m. tonight.
Venice police are trying to figure out who vandalized underneath the Venice Avenue Bridge. Photos show graffiti on pillars and on the sidewalk. The vandals painted words like white power, anti-God. The Florida Department of Transportation is now painting over the pillars and sidewalk to hide that vandalism.
Manatee's Tourist Development Council is recommending investments in restoring the historic Anna Maria Pier and the public acquisition of the premier sports campus in Lakewood Ranch. The county is being asked to use some of the roughly $13 million in annual proceeds from the 5% resort tax for both popular destinations. Now, you may remember the pier was damaged earlier this year during Hurricane Irma, forcing it to close to the public. But funds could be used to fix the pier structure and open it back up for good. The county could also invest as much as $4 million on the complex. The county commission is set to decide on those recommendations on Thursday.
ABC7 business commentator Richard Stern joins us now, and it was down arrows across the board today on Wall Street, Richard.
Scott, I think it was the polar vortex that was the problem. Oh, that was Bob's problem, not my problem. I'm sorry. Today we had more sellers than buyers. A 193-point range top to bottom. The Dow was up by 59 points early this morning, down by 134 points mid-afternoon. We didn't close with quite that big a loss, but indeed it was. And the Standard & Poor's 500 index has been down for 3 days in a row. The first time we've seen that, believe it or not, since all the way back in August. Well, let's take a look at the figures. The Dow Jones Industrial Average down almost 110 points, more than 0.4%, at 24,180.64. That on volume of 702 million shares. The Nasdaq, the biggest loser of the day, as well as yesterday, down 1.25%, more than 85 points at 6,762.21. That on volume of 1,736,000,000 shares. And if both of those are down, so's the S&P, almost 0.4%, not quite 10 points at 2,629.57. Well, how does a hot pizza, a cold beer, and you don't even have to leave the house? That sound pretty good? That's what Pizza Hut is talking about. Pizza Hut is now starting a model program in Phoenix that they hope to use all across the country, in which they will, yes, deliver the hottest pizza they can, along with the coldest beer from Budweiser, or, in fact, a bottle of wine, if you would prefer that. It's going to be their way of trying to distinguish themselves from everybody else in the pizza business. And if they're successful and they can give you a cold beer and a hot pizza without screwing up either one of them, they just might do very, very well. It's certainly something innovative, and in the pizza business, anything you can do to separate yourself is probably a very good thing.
I guess that's one way to try and get the upper hand on that.
Yes.
Well, what about any news on McDonald's for us?
Well, McDonald's was the best performer today of the 30 stocks that make up the Dow Jones Industrial Average, up by 1.4% on a down day. They're bringing back their iconic dollar menu, and they've been very innovative over the last number of months, and it looks like they're just going to keep right on going.
All right, Richard, thanks so much.
You are welcome.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, a fast-moving wildfire wreaking havoc in Southern California. One person was killed as they tried to evacuate.
And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast. Plus, new research says many American children will be obese by adulthood. How you can help your kids tackle the issue before it affects their health.
The ABC7 Stock Report is brought to you by Sunset Cadillac. Everyone's buzzing about Suncoast View.
I like watching the Suncoast View.
I like the Suncoast View.
The cooking segments, I love the recipes. The theater segments are terrific.
Join Stephanie Roberts, Linda Carson, and Bobeth Yates for hot topics, everyday issues, celebrities, food, fashion, fitness, and everything in between. Nothing is off limits.
They're just fun.
For smart, fun talk in the afternoon, watch Suncoast View, weekdays at 4 on ABC7.
I heard about the Detoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Detoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Detoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Naomi, my California closet designer, has been my partner in crime. She was genuinely fun to work with. We have had a ball collaborating on the 8 units that we have done in our home. The closets in the house are great, but the den is what everyone comments on when they walk in the house. And it's so beautiful. They say, whoa, who did that? And I said, it's California Closets. My name is Melissa, and this is my California Closet story.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetzy. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Fires are burning out of control in Southern California. At least 3 fires have burned more than 50,000 acres, and the fight is far from over. ABC's Danya Backus has the latest from Ventura, California.
Wind gusts blasting fiery embers down streets, catching everything in its path on fire.
We need to get out of here as soon as possible. That fire is right there.
Tens of thousands forced to evacuate in Ventura County, and some watched as their homes burned.
It's a huge hit. I've been an owner for 40 years here, and it's just crazy what's gone on.
Jim McConaughey, a former Olympic gold medal winning swimmer, not able to get his prized possessions, but thankful for his life.
And this was going to be my die-in house. The only thing is the house died before I did.
The Thomas fire exploded overnight, driven by Santa Ana winds of up to 70 miles per hour. A behavioral health facility was razed to the ground.
Sad, very depressing. Never seen anything like this previously.
And Tuesday morning, at least 2 more fires burning out of control in the Los Angeles area, causing more evacuations as fire crews continue to face an uphill battle.
Really, Mother Nature's going to decide when we have the ability to put it out, because it is pushing hard with the wind.
Fire officials expect the firefight and threat to continue throughout the week, with red flag warnings here until Thursday. Danya Backus, ABC News, Ventura, California.
Thoughts, prayers with those folks. That's a tough situation there.
It certainly is, and we're going to see a different changing pattern too here along the east coast of the United States. The eastern side of the U.S. will start to get some finally winter-like weather, and at least down south, the Northeast just has experienced some colder air over the holidays past week. Now we are looking at beautiful weather here, though. Here's the hourly forecast. For tomorrow, it looks, actually this is overnight, looking down into the mid-60s. So warm overnight readings anticipated here, but we are anticipating, looks like again, nice weather for us throughout the day tomorrow, with temperatures warming into the upper 70s to low 80s. And as far as our camera goes right now, looking dark out there earlier, but the showers around, again, some rainfall to the north of us, not much going on here. And looks like it'll stay fairly dry too. Titan radar picture indicating a lot of rain associated with the system up to the north, and looks like it will continue to move and march to the southeast. This frontal boundary extending again, warm weather out ahead of it and much colder air behind it right now, and that warm weather extends all the way up into the mid-Atlantic coast states. For us, a few showers along the east coast. Not much going on here. Some showers down near Naples, and as far as the temperature trends go, well, it's warm through Thursday, and then the bottom drops out as far as the forecast models go. So a couple more days of temperatures above average, and then we really drop down into Saturday. Temperatures expected only into the low to mid 60s, and a lot of rain anticipated on Friday across the area. Temperatures into the mid 70s now to upper 70s, 79 in Northport, 79 in Punta Gorda, 80 degrees at Lake Placid, 80 in Mayaca City. The Gulf water temperature is starting to warm up, 74, and our current conditions 76, mostly sunny skies right now. The dew point temperature 67. We have a west wind at 5 and the pressure 30-12. That's high, and that continues to hold steady right now. The hourly forecast looks like this. We'll have temperatures warming into the upper 70s to near 80 degrees by 1 o'clock under mostly sunny skies, and then generally fair skies overnight tonight, or just say tomorrow night, and into Thursday morning, maybe a little bit of fog forming out ahead of the actual cold front. Well, the high pressure slips off to the east into the Atlantic. Here comes the approaching frontal boundary, and out to the west, that cold air will be moving into Texas and also into Louisiana. As we move through time, we're going to get some snow, possibly mixed with some rain in West Texas. But for us, that front really not moving through until late Friday, and we'll see a chance for showers on into Thursday morning. The rain chance not all that high on Thursday at 30% for a few spotty showers. And then as we move through time, it looks like, again, Friday late and into early Saturday morning will be the best chance to get more widespread showers around. We're not anticipating anything severe at this point. I know we said that last time with the front nearby, and we did see some water spots well out in the Gulf of Mexico, but nothing severe around here. Well, the National Satellite and Radar picture showing this large area of low pressure now moving through eastern portions of Canada continues to wrap around and bring all that cold air spilling southward now into the northern plain states. As far as temperatures go, 21 in Minneapolis, it's 32 in Chicago, 40 in Cleveland, and 44 in St. Louis, Kansas City at 46. But the wind chill factor in the single digits in Minot and also Minneapolis now, it feels like 7 degrees there. So a real taste of winter. 19 in Chicago. That's the feels like temperature. Detroit at 21. So here it comes, the GFS forecast model indicating that that cold plunge will continue to move on through the eastern United States through Friday, Saturday, and be in place here really on Friday, Saturday, and continuing on into early next week. Well, here's a look at the boating forecast tomorrow. Looks good. Winds will be generally light at south to southwest winds at 10 knots. Seas will be 1 to 2 feet with a light chop out there. The tides upcoming on your screen. Low tide at 6:57. Sunset at 5:36. Mostly fair. Some patchy fog. 66 for your low tomorrow. Partly cloudy, continued warm after a little bit of fog burns off and southeast winds turn to the southwest. And the extended forecast, a slight chance for showers on Thursday, clouding up, still warm, and then a 70% chance for rain, mainly in the afternoon and evening on Friday. Saturday morning, still some rain around, and then tapering off. Much cooler weather to follow on in through the weekend. Back to you.
Okay, Bob, thank you. Now to first alert traffic. We're seeing some slowdowns on the map in Manatee County. This is near Palmetto and the two bridges over the Manatee River. Slow going at this hour, going both ways. But no crashes to report in the area, and the interstate is looking good at this hour. All green up and down, north and south. Jacqueline?
In health news tonight, a new study finds smoking cigarettes and daily use of cannabis are strongly linked in America. According to the study recently published in the American Journal of Public Health, smokers overall are 7 times more likely to use pot daily than non-smokers. This relationship was found to be especially strong among younger people between the ages of 12 and 17. Nearly a third of traditional cigarette smokers in that age group said they also used cannabis day in and day out. In fact, young smokers were more than 50 times likely to use cannabis daily than their non-smoking peers. Some sobering new data predicts a majority of American kids will be obese by the time they're in their 30s. The analysis involved about 42,000 children and adults. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says roughly 20% of American children 6 to 19 years old are already obese, but you can be a part of the solution. Make food interesting for kids so that they're not always craving processed and fast foods. Teach them to read food labels and show them how to cook and make different variations of meals. Well, you can now learn life-saving skills while waiting for a flight at John Wayne Airport in Southern California. There are 3 free kiosks inside the airport that teach passengers how to do hands-only CPR. It's an effective technique that does not involve traditional mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, and it can double a cardiac arrest victim's chance of survival. Whether you're flying in or flying out, saving a life just got much easier. Well, coming up, the Christmas holiday may be impacted for multiple families. Why hundreds of packages were ruined due to a large fire in Maryland overnight. And a strange type of karma for one Maryland firefighter as he delivers a baby in the back of an ambulance.
Being the caregiver for someone you love is truly a blessing. But sometimes you can lose a part of yourself. To be your best, for them and for you, it's important to have time to be able to recharge your batteries. When you call Tidewell Hospice, they can give you a chance to do just that, and with the peace of mind of knowing your loved one is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
It's the holiday sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKX Sport Utility for $349 per month, or Lincoln's flagship, the 2017 Continental, for $449 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury. Winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Sun Coast since 1978. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-738-9812. 800-738-9812.
Attention type 2 diabetics. The FDA warns of an increased risk of amputation associated with certain diabetes medications. If you took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation or one of these other serious injuries, call the Rely On group right now. If you've suffered amputation or any of these other injuries after taking your diabetes medication, call the Rely On group today. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-604-1698. That's 800-604-1698.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Almost 6 tons of cocaine are in police custody now thanks to the Civil Guard of Spain. The drugs were hidden in the shipment of bananas from Colombia. The value of this amount of cocaine in the market would have been more than $235 million. During the operation, 3 people were arrested. According to authorities, it is the biggest cocaine seizure carried out in Spain this century.
Well, some holiday presents may not make it to people's doorsteps after a fire severely damaged a UPS facility in Maryland overnight. When all was said and done, 10 trucks, a trailer, and numerous holiday packages were destroyed. The sprinkler system did stop the fire from spreading, but hundreds of those packages were turned into ashes. The fire is still under investigation and the damage estimate is still unknown. And a Maryland firefighter who was born in an ambulance spent his 42nd birthday delivering a baby the same exact way in the back of an ambulance. Daniel Helsel and his team got a call to help a woman in labor yesterday. He said as soon as the woman got into the ambulance, she started giving birth. Helsel said everything went well, and as soon as the baby's umbilical cord was cut, she was cleaned up and handed over to her mother. Helsel has been with Prince George's County Fire for 17 years. He said he had never worked on his birthday until yesterday. Well, I'm sure they will have a little bit of a close bond, those two.
Birthday buddies, yeah.
Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, one state agency is working to improve traffic on barrier islands. A look at where that work is needed most.
And if you're looking for a safer place to live, don't look any farther than the Suncoast. Find out where the cities in our area are ranked for safety and crime rates.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
So I never had closet systems before. Our designer, Bridget, was able to listen and ask the right questions, taking our ideas and making them happen. We were totally satisfied from beginning to end. I knew the California Closets would help me with every aspect of the design process, and they delivered 100%. My name is Teresa, and this is my California closet story.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline. If you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death, you must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Choral Artists of Sarasota presents Too Hot to Handle. Add an electric spark to your holiday season with the return of this joyful gospel reinvention of Handel's Messiah. Shout hallelujah and get ready for a roof-raising performance featuring an ensemble of 100 singers, plus exceptional musicians and outstanding soloists, including Amy Jo Connors and members of the West Coast Black Theater Troupe. Sunday, December 10th, 7:30 p.m. at the Van Wezel. Tickets and info are at choralartistsarasota.org.